Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know. But today is a Tuesday. Yesterday was a somewhat dramatic day, especially if you were expecting Kamala Harris to win. I would say it was a very, very good. It's a very dramatic day for you. Um, Boy, I don't know where to start here. Uh, yeah, I don't even know where to start, but I guess the thing is that I ask myself, are these the very best that America has to offer? And with Harris, for sure, I'm saying no. To me, she's not authentic. She changes her voice and her way that she speaks, depending on if she's with blacks, Latinos, whoever. She's just not real to me. Um, but listen, I could see through that if she came through and she just talked about all her policies. She hasn't had much time. She only had, she had less than 4 months to get ready for this. So, I can't fault her for that, whatever. But I just don't like her. To me, she's not likable, right? Now, I used to like Trump a lot more when he was like a TV personality. And all these people right now who are so worried about, oh, Trump's going to do this, he's going to do that. Oh my God, they're crying. I got to laugh. They're crying, literally crying because he won. Listen, did he start a war when he was in power? No. What are you worried about? He's going to start a war. Oh my God. It's going to be World War III. Everybody knows that's not in any country's best interest. Even the nutcases know that. They know they'll be annihilated. The world will be annihilated. They know this. So they're not stupid. What's he going to do? He's going to run the economy into the ground? Well, let's see. Wait a minute. It's already in the ground. Hopefully, he can't do any worse than Joe Biden has done. And let me tell you something. I've watched Biden here and there. And being over here, I don't really care. I don't live in America. But for my American friends, my family, and for a few issues, I'd like to see things turn out a certain way in the United States. But if it doesn't, I got to just try to roll with it. So I was perfectly prepared if Harris won. Hey, I hope she's a good president. That was my thinking. Well, she didn't win. You got all these people crying about it, and I'm just like, what are they freaking crying about? I understand you're a little bummed, you're a little upset. I can understand that. Your guy lost, your girl lost. Am I thrilled that Trump is president? Like, am I jumping and up and down for joy? No. Listen, it's a different presidency. It's another 4 years. I've been through this before. You know, really. So does it excite me to no end? No. What I want to see is what is he going to do in the next 4 years? I don't care he's Trump. I don't care he's, Harris. I don't care. What I care about is what happens in the next 4 years. Is he going to ruin the country? Is he going to save the country? He says he's going to fix everything. Okay, everything's a tall order. It's a tall order, right? I doubt he's going to fix everything. I have my doubts about that. From what I've seen, the guy has boundless energy and he works hard and he does what he says most of the time. Now, that said, I want to talk about what's going to happen with him as president. Because I did a little research on this, as I do sometimes. I do my research. Now, I have to tell you, before I get going here, let me just do something real quick. I have to tell you that the dollar is much stronger than it was before the election. It's the Trump effect. Okay. Now, there is a 40% chance of rain today. Um, there's a 40% chance of rain today. It doesn't look very nice out right now. I got a busy day today, and so I'm hoping that, like always, I get everything done. Boom, I go in the house, and then it starts raining. Usually in the later afternoon, it starts raining, so, that's a good thing. Now, good morning, everybody. How you doing? Sawati Ton Chow. I don't know. Maybe there's nothing. There's no settings, so hopefully this will work. It'll be clean enough. I don't know what the deal is, but I have another mic, but we'll see. Okay, so like I said, I see these. I watch. I go onto the front page of YouTube and I see woke liberals losing their minds over Donald Trump. And I mean, you've got 50, 100 people, and this is just like one or two videos. They are crying, literally screaming. And I'm like, these people are wackos. And this is what I see is that a lot of the Democrats cannot handle anybody that's a Republican, especially Trump. Oh my God, Trump is so bad. I understand he's done some things. He's not perfect. That's how most of us are. We're not perfect. I understand he could go to jail. I know that. But compared to Kamala Harris, honestly, I think he's better. And for me, the main thing is Social Security. That's what I worry about. Don't take my Social Security away. Then I'll be pissed. Now, what am I going to do? There's not a lot I can do. But I highly doubt they're going to do that. I think, like I said, I think what they're going to do is they'll find the funds and then they're going to raise the age of people who collect Social Security. It's going to take, maybe it'll be 65, maybe it'll be 67. Who knows? Maybe they'll raise the minimum age to 67 and it'll be, 72 when you can collect full Social Security. But that's not me because I'll be grandfathered in. So I'm not really worried about it. Now, we are going to talk a little bit here about some of the things that he has going and that he's talking about. And I'm not sure. I mean, he's going to fix everything, but I don't, he's doing the broad strokes. I want to see, okay, how? Do you have plans that can be implemented and will work? That's what I'm talking about. Now, before I get into this, if you enjoy this stream and want to support the channel, you can use YouTube Super Chats, which is right below the chat box. Super thanks, the Cash App, an American in Bangkok, Buy Me a Coffee, or Patreon. Plus, you can become a member of the YouTube channel for as little as $1.99 a month. There's also merch available below the video window, and you can grab one of my books on my website at americaninbangkok.com or at Amazon. If you need help with anything, feel free to shoot me an email, and we can set up a consultation, or maybe we just have a chat. So let's take a look at what Donald Trump says he's going to attempt to accomplish. And one thing that he says is that he's going to reinstitute the so-called travel ban that restricts entry into the United States of people from a largely Muslim-dominant country, which sparked, in the first term, this sparked many legal battles. Now, I don't think you can just ban all the Muslims. But if you say from a place like Yemen, they have to go through thorough vetting, and I mean thorough. If you don't have your paperwork, you ain't getting in. I understand that. Some places don't have adequate paperwork. They don't have adequate documents that can prove you are who you say you are. Well, what's the problem with that? Uh, there would be many implications now. There are many implications since he won for U.S. trade, the trade policy, climate change, the war on the Ukraine, electric vehicles, American taxes, and of course, immigration, illegal immigration. And it's always struck me as funny. I mean, I don't hate on anybody, really. Generally, I like people. I like to be alone also. But I like people. I don't mind if you have somebody from another country and he wants to go to the United States. Now, I do mind if he just walks across the border like there's no border. I don't think that's right. And I do mind if he walks across the border and says, oh, I want to claim asylum, or, what am I supposed to do? And they go, oh, well, you're going to have to go and, we'll work things out, but you're going to be in America. No, no. If he doesn't have adequate paper, he doesn't get into the country. Well, how simple is that? Does Thailand do that? Generally, no. They have border passes and migrant passes and things like that. And I think in America, they have migrant passes. So to just let people come in, I mean, finish the wall. And I think that's something he's going to do. And, the thing is, it looks like the Republicans are going to win the House. They won the Senate. So what that means is now you've got the House, the Senate, and the presidency, which means that for the most part, he should face very few obstacles when he tries to get something passed, when he tries to push something through. If it was the Democrats and Republicans in the Senate and the House, if the Democrats win the House, then it's 1-1. Yeah, and the Supreme Court. Then it's 1-1. It's even. So then he could stance, he could have some problems. And generally how it works is he tells the Democrat, I want to finish the wall. Well, if you're going to finish the wall, we need you to do this with illegals, and you need to do this and that and this and that. They come up and they make some kind of a deal. And that's not always good. Because sometimes in order to get what he wants done, or what any president wants done, they have to make a deal. And they're compromising some of the things that they have strong views on. And they have to, in order to get what they want, they have to compromise and allow the other side to get what they want. Now, if the Republicans win the House, I think they have something like 205 or 208 on their side right now to like 195 or something. They need 218. You still don't have the exact figure for Trump for the electoral votes. I look all over and I'm getting, 280, 285, 297, 312. I think it's going to end up 312. However, I look on something, they don't even have Alaska called yet. Yesterday, a lot of different channels, a lot of different outlets had already said, listen, Trump's won. He's got 280, he's got 270, whatever. He's won. I look at CNN, I look at some of these other ones, and they just do not want to call it for him. And I watched this morning, I was looking at YouTube. I see Morning Joe. I don't know what his last name is. I don't know the girl's name. And he's talking about it's racist. It's misogynist. And you got Al Sharpton, who, he never shied away from calling anyone a racist. And that's what they're saying. That's why Trump won. And then I see this other guy on CNN crying about how black women have suffered. They know about being talked down to. And here they are again. They think they're going to win. They think they have a chance. It's an opportunity. And they fail again. Well, that's because you put somebody in who's an idiot. And, I'm sorry to say that it works out this way. You have Joe Biden, who I watched him a couple of times giving speeches. I don't understand what the guy is saying. And Trump is looking at him like, I see when Trump is having a conversation or they're asking questions of them and they're together. Trump doesn't understand him. I think he said that. And I feel bad for the guy. He's an old guy. And listen, I watched something yesterday, and I told my wife, I said, come here. She comes over. I said, watch this. And he's, and I'm like, what the fuck is he saying? I don't even know what he's saying. Imagine he's going to go up to Putin. And I'm sorry that he's an older guy and he's suffering. Maybe he should have never been elected. I don't know. Maybe they knew they just wanted him as a puppet. I don't know. I feel bad for the guy when it comes to his illness. But he doesn't deserve to be president. And she didn't deserve to take over. She was just given that position. I don't know that she really deserved to be vice president. And what did she do as vice president? Please, tell me some things that she did. I don't really think she did much. Yeah, I don't think she did much at all. So, I understand vice presidents, it's largely, they're given the position and they're supposed to look good and go around smiling and, they do a few things here and there. Nothing really serious. But what happened at the border? Listen, you told me I got control of the border. I'm going to sit down the very first day, look at it and go, sit down with all the heads of immigration and say, what is our best course of action here? How can we stop these people? Like right now, what can we do? Now, some of the people may really be able to come into the United States and there's not a problem. But if they just come, they got no papers and they're just hoping to come in, I don't think, I really just don't think that's the way to go. Now, when it comes to the news, that's why I don't like looking at the news, and I haven't really looked at the news up until the last couple of months, because you never know who to trust. It used to be, oh, well, if you don't like CNN, you can go to Fox. They're all the same now. Oh, USA Today, U.S. News, Global News, this news, that news. I don't know who to believe. So if I look at Kamala Harris and she's talking, and then I look at Donald Trump and he's talking, I'm going to go, which guy would I want to represent me with a world leader? And it sure in the hell would not be her, because I don't want her giggling, thinking something's funny when it's not. I want them to take her seriously. Now they're not going to take her seriously. I think they probably laugh at her, honestly. Now with Trump, when he comes into a room, you may not like him. You may think he's an asshole. And I don't think he's always very presidential. I think sometimes he does some stuff that I'm just like, where the hell did this come from? He's a bit of a wild card. But when he walks into a room, the people are wondering, okay, so how can I approach this? This guy, he's not messing around. Well, there you go. That's what you want to ask. I look at it like this. I'm over here. I've been here for 30 years. What happens in America generally doesn't affect me. You know, like I said the other day, the Patriot Act, and whatever that other one was, I can't remember. Yeah, I had to fill out some papers at the bank, and it made things a little difficult. All right, whatever. But generally, I haven't been affected. But I look at it like this. Today, am I better off than when Trump was in power? I don't think so. Prices are much higher. I know that for a fact. Prices are much higher in the United States. I mean, they've doubled, tripled. Prices of food. Why is it people now, they have to work 3 jobs to do the same thing they used to do with one? And I'm not saying that's all Biden. And I'm not saying it's all Harris. Sometimes things just happen. So when Trump says he's going to roll back inflation, okay, how? I want to see exactly what is he going to do. Well, right now, the Thai baht, just a couple of minutes ago, it was 34.36. The air quality is 90, the temperature 78, high 88, low is 77, and the feel like temperature is 79, which is only a degree higher than the temperature, and humidity is 81%, 40% chance of rain, and 8 kilometers an hour, which I think is like 5 miles an hour. So that's what it's like here today. And yes, stocks, the dollar, Bitcoin, all up. Now, would they all be up if Harris won? I don't really know. Problem YouTube today? I don't understand. You know, so I look at it like, hopefully, the next 4 years will be better than this 4 years, this past 4 years. We'll see. And that's the important thing. Doesn't matter who is in charge, you just have to live with it. If you don't watch them, then I don't care and enjoy. And yeah, unless you have something that drastically affects you, that where even if you're not looking, it's affecting you and you know it. That hasn't happened to me. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen to me. I'm over here. So I'm looking at how things will affect Thailand. Will it be positive or negative? And when I see the bot jump up like that, okay, it could just be because, the election is over. They've elected somebody. Okay, maybe it'll go back down a little bit. I don't really think so. And you know what? I've been saying it. Listen, get it up to 34.25. And I'm happy because now I can just estimate 34. Everywhere I go, okay, so, you know, 34. Okay, divide by 34. Okay, multiply by 34. I can do whatever I need to do. It's very easy. I don't have to go, oh, it's 33.27 or 33.35. I don't have to do that. Okay. Also, you get more money, which is, obviously important. You get more money, because the dollar is stronger. Simple as that. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, honestly, uh, the thing is, stocks generally go up unless you have a recession. And now, I'm sure that him winning gives a little bit of it injects a little force into the financial system. Now, once he starts making some decisions and starts hiring, firing people, then it will affect the financial system and everything else. But it's going to take a little bit of time. And it's usually the first 100 days that they start to do something. But one of the things that he's promised is he's floated the idea of having a 10% or more tariff on all goods imported into the U.S. A movie says would eliminate the trade deficit, but critics say would lead to higher prices No shit. For American consumers and global economic instability. I don't know why it would create global economic instability. If you're ordering something, I mean, obviously this is a small scale. If you're ordering something that's $100, well, now it's $110. Well, I don't like that. I don't like that. But sometimes the tariffs are the way to equalize things. And if it does eliminate the trade deficit, that's great. I'm not sold on this. He's also said that he should have the authority to set higher tariffs on countries that have put tariffs on U.S. imports. Definitely. He's threatened to impose a 200% tariff on some imported cars, saying he is determined in particular to keep cars from Mexico from coming into the country. I don't know why we let that happen, but okay. He's also suggested that allies such as the European Union could see higher duties on their goods. Now, this is what I like. Trump has targeted China in particular. He proposes phasing out Chinese import of goods such as electronics, steel, and pharmaceuticals over 4 years. I don't like them having control over the ingredients into pharmaceuticals. So, but if something happens, we're screwed. He seeks to prohibit Chinese companies from owning U.S. real estate and infrastructure in the energy and tech sectors. I think that's a good move. He has said tariff is his favorite word and views them as a revenue generator that could help fill government coffers. Okay, I'm not 100% sold on this. I think it needs to be used sparing. That's just me. Mass deportations. He has vowed to reinstate his first-term policies targeting illegal border crossings and to forge ahead with sweeping new restrictions. He has pledged to limit access to asylum at the U.S.-Mexico border and to embark on the biggest deportation effort in American history, which would likely trigger legal channels and opposition from Democrats in Congress. What did he say? How many million? Let me see something here. Hey, thank you. Thank you there, Gills. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can do this. There we go. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Joke D to you. Let's just say here, he's going to bring in the gold-backed dollar, which will kill inflation. Stocks were already high this year. Well, he definitely won't be keeping Janet Yellen. That was one proper Looney Tune. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things he's going to do. I mean, in the first couple of days, man, that guy is going to be signing papers. He's going to be canceling things. He's going to be starting things. I think he's going to put a lot of things into play. And, I kind of question what some of the presidents in the past have done, as in they don't do all that much. They do what they have to do. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but from what I understand, he is very, very active, and he does a lot of things, which could be good or bad, There's more than 20 million illegals in the U.S. and makes up a huge amount of U.S. population. He wants reciprocal trade and bring back manufacturing to the U.S. I mean, that's nice in the real world when you think about it. Oh, everything's going to be made in America. Well, you got to have the economy for that. People got to have money. So he does have to bring down inflation so that people can afford to spend money. As far as the illegals go, I didn't know it was 20 million. I didn't think it was that high, but I cannot see them going around, like with police trucks rounding up illegals. I can see them doing that on a small scale, but on a large scale to get millions of people, I don't really see that happening. I think it's going to take the entire 4 years of his presidency to try to get some of these people back out. And some of them he just won't be able to get out. I mean, if you look at it realistically, he's got a lot of things. He's got a lot of things on his plate. So I don't know if he's going to be able to do it or not. But let me look at something here. He has said he will employ the National Guard and, if necessary, federal troops to achieve his objective. And he has not ruled out setting up internment camps. Wow. To process people for deportation. That's pretty heavy right there. I guess that's the only way to do it, though, because if you have so many people, where are you going to put them? I don't know about that, man. Trump has said he would seek to end automatic citizenship for children born to immigrants, a move that would run against the long-running interpretation of the U.S. Constitution's 14th Amendment. He has also suggested he would revoke protected legal status for some populations, such as Haitians or Venezuelans. Now, what I can say is that, hello, Sammy. Oh, yes, we won. Here's the thing that I think you have to remember, and I heard this yesterday. It's nice that Trump won. I think if Harris won, it would be a clusterfuck. But okay, maybe she'd just be a puppet, and things would go along, and it wouldn't be that bad. I don't know. I'm just saying. But you've got to look. You're going to have to look at Trump. Everybody's got to keep their eye on him. They got to watch what he's doing and try to keep him in check because he works for us. We don't work for him. He isn't a dictator. So it's not really him. It's what he's doing. And then in another 4 years, it's going to be somebody else. And what really scares me about Harris, let me see something here. She did concede, although it took her a long time. And she said, it's going to be okay. Typical brain surgeon mentality that she has. It's going to be okay. And she said, where is it? If I can find it here. Well, I don't know where it is. I can let's see here. Basically, she said, it's we didn't win, but that doesn't mean in the long term we're not going to win. Something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. And what it made me think of is she's going to run in another 4 years. She's got it in her now. I can be president. I'm going to be president. Woo woo. And to me, I don't want her as president. I don't think she can improve in 4 years. I just don't think that. Yeah, the mainstream media right now is melting down, and they're gloomy. They're nervous, and you got all these Trump people going, all right, we won. Now let's get to work. And the Democrats are pissed off about Trump winning. Don't be pissed off. I understand it sucks. And to be honest, I mean, I'm doing this for the channel, and also, I care. I do care a little bit, but it really doesn't matter that much to me. I'm over here. Unless somebody said, oh, we're revoking your passport, you have to come back here. I'd be like, what the? Now, let me see something here. Yeah, she canceled her election night speech because she knew she was going to lose. And she didn't come out at 9 a.m. She didn't even come out at 10 a.m. She waited until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, probably because it still hit her. I think she was shocked that she lost. I think she genuinely thought she was going to win. And bringing people like Oprah, Cardi B, even thinking about Robert De Niro, oh my God. I don't know. I just think, it's okay to be passionate, but to a point. Yeah, she abandoned her people. And that's why I say I don't think she's genuine, man. Trump will definitely honor his word on what he said he's going to do. I think so. I'm not so much a super hard Trump fan. I'm just against radical. Yeah, that's me. Listen, if you put in a good Democrat, I mean, like a truly, like really sharp Democrat. What was that chick's name? Wasn't Kaylee? What was her name? The press secretary for Trump that had her. She was sharp, man. I forget what her name was. If you get a president like that, that was that sharp, and that was in, he or she was a Democrat, and the Republican was, a nothing. I would vote for the Democrat. Honestly, it wouldn't matter to me. From what I've seen, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. In the last like 12 years, things have been a little iffy. She abandoned her supporters when she lost, shows her true self in that moment. She was sleeping off her drunken. Well, that could have been. I mean, this is great. Shows a lot more Americans are smarter than people think they are and can see through the bullshit. Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah. I've watched her and seen her, and she does seem pretty sharp. But that's not the press secretary. The press secretary, it wasn't Kaylee, whatever her name was? I can't remember. Let me see something here. Or maybe it was. Kaylee McEnany? Is that her? Sean Spicer? No. Sarah Sanders? No. I didn't really like her. Stephanie Grissom? No. Kaylee McEnany? I think that was her. All right, she was sharp. Now she may have had a book in front of her, but she was sharp. Listen, get somebody in there that's sharp, really. And listen, I look at Trump and I go, okay, he's done some bad things, but I can overlook him. I don't care if he said grab her by the JJ. Come on, if you're a man and you have had any action in your life, have you not said things that were a little bit misogynistic that could have been construed that way? I think a lot of people, a lot more than you would think, have done this. Maybe not as harsh as grab her by the JJ, but it wasn't Stephanie. No, it was Kaylee McEnany, and she was sharp. She had her act together, which is good to works for the new government of New York City. She asked me in an email this morning. I replied to her with this. As for Trump winning, I saw that coming from a mile away. It was not like people liking was about them not liking the current party. Yeah, it's that simple. All the Democrat stuff was boosted thanks to people, blah, 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 being in echo chambers and people going out and talking to others. Mainstream media, Democrats lied, and luckily, thanks to the internet, people could fact check in real time. Well, that's what I like. I mean, I know that sounds like it's not that big of a deal, but it is a little bit of a big deal. The fact that she would not go on with Joe Rogan and that she wanted Joe Rogan to come to me, first of all, that smacks of, oh, I'm too busy, I can't fit you in, and she only wanted to do an hour. The fact that she wouldn't go and do that, and Trump did, she should have been smart enough to go, he did it, I need to do it. But she knew if Rogan had her, even for an hour, he would probably corner her and get her into some situations that she didn't like. She's not that sharp. That's how I look at it. Looking from the outside, I was actually very pro-left before moving to Japan. Over the years, it seems one hoax after another. Listen, I told you I saw something on CNN today where the reason Trump won, oh no, it was MSNBC, that Morning Joe guy. He was saying to Al Sharpton, that the reason Trump won was misogyny and racism. And, here's the thing. What I really don't like is that Harris wanted all the blacks to vote to her, like they had a responsibility to vote for her. Doesn't matter her policies. It doesn't matter what she thinks, what kind of person she is. None of that matters. I'm black, you're black. They got to stick together. I don't think of it that way. Now, maybe I'm a little more open-minded because I've traveled a lot, and I just go, hey, listen, what it comes down to, who's going to do the best job? Who can we trust? Yeah, they ran, I think they ran a little bit of a campaign of hate. And, yeah, that's the thing. Inflation, people don't want to pay 2 times, 3 times what they used to pay. They don't want people pouring into their country, illegals. Oh, is that his wife? And, they don't want to pay more taxes. You got to figure things out. Yeah, people, Thai people care, but they care to a certain point, and certain people care more than others. I told my wife, I said, God, you got 2 people. You got to vote for one. I go, there is not a chance in hell. I just was trying to think of why I should vote for Harris. I can't do it. I just can't. And so then I walked in and I said, Trump's already won. He's already won. I thought it was going to be days. I thought it might be a week before they could, come out and say so-and-so has won. And she's like, really, already? I said, yeah. And then, then she started really getting into it a little bit. She knows that she's made money on stock. She made money on stock yesterday just because of Trump. She made money on Bitcoin yesterday just because of Trump, the Trump effect. Now, let me go on here. Said he would seek automatic system. Okay. Trump has vowed to increase U.S. production of fossil fuels by easing the permitting process for drilling on federal land. It would encourage new natural gas pipelines. He said he would reauthorize oil drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge in Alaska. Maybe that's a way out. I don't know. I lost a lot of money in my portfolio in the stock market because Trump won the election, but I completely agree with a lot of the politics he brings with him. How did you lose money? Where are you based? Are you in Norway? Because I remember the last time, listen, stocks were, people were making money hand over fist. Whether the oil industry follows through and raises production at a time when oil and gas prices are relatively low remains to be seen. I think it went up 2.5%. Well, the S&P 500 went up 2.5%. He was said that he has said he will again pull the United States out of the Paris Climate Accords, a framework for reducing global greenhouse gas emissions, and would support increased nuclear energy production. I don't know about that. It would also roll back Democratic President Joe Biden's electric vehicle mandates and other policies aimed at reducing auto emissions. It's nice that you want to reduce auto emissions, but let's face it, the electric car is not exactly what everybody thought or thinks it will be. Those batteries are extremely expensive. And I don't know how much does it really do for people as far as the climate goes. He's argued that the U.S. needs to be able to boost energy production to be competitive in developing artificial intelligence systems which consume large amounts of power. Okay. Along with his trade and energy agendas, Trump has promised to slash federal regulations that he says limit job creation. He has pledged to keep in place a broad 2017 tax cut that he signed while in office, and his economic team has discussed a further round of individual and corporate tax cuts beyond those enacted in his first term. He has pledged to reduce the corporate tax from 21% to 15% for companies that make their products in the United States. Now, what that means is they're able to reinvest that money. Hopefully, they don't just keep it for themselves, but they can reinvest it in their company. They can pay their employees more if need be. So it frees up some cash. He said he would seek legislation to end the taxation of tips and overtime wages to aid waiters and other service workers, and he has pledged not to tax or cut Social Security benefits. You know, I think they're going to wait until the last minute with Social Security. They're going to wait until the money's almost gone, and then they're going to try to do something. I don't know that he's going to have to do anything. Nobody wants electric cars. They're too expensive and very dangerous. I wish Patya Bob was here. I think he still has that electric car. It's like a Chinese electric car, and it's like $10,000. It's a little tiny thing. You know, you can barely fit in the damn thing. He just uses it around town, and I thought he said he loved it. But I like to know what he has to say about it now. So, Patya Bob, if you're listening, we want to know. Actually, I should send him a message. Trump has also said that as president, he would pressure the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates, what would stop short of demanding it. Most, if not all, of his tax proposals would require congressional action. Budget analysts have warned that the bevy of tax cuts would balloon the federal debt. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's what I want to know. How is he going to reduce the debt? Doing away with diversity programs. Trump has pledged to require U.S. colleges and universities to defend American tradition and Western civilization and to purge them of diversity programs. He said he would direct the Justice Department to pursue civil rights cases against schools that engage in racial discrimination. At K through 12 schools, Trump would support programs allowing parents to use public funds for private or religious instruction. He also wants to abolish the department. What? Trump also wants to abolish the federal Department of Education and leave states in control of schooling. No federal abortion ban. He appointed 3 justices to the U.S. Supreme Court who were part of the majority that did away with Roe versus Wade's constitutional protection for abortion. He likely would continue to appoint federal judges who would uphold abortion limits. At the same time, he said a federal abortion ban is unnecessary and that the issue should be resolved at the state level. Okay, hopefully they wouldn't do anything. They just allow the women to do what they want. He has argued that a 6-week ban, favored by some Republicans, is overly harsh and that the legislation should include exceptions for rape, incest, and the health of the mother. Okay. He has suggested he would not seek to limit access to the abortion drug mifepristone after the U.S. Supreme Court rejected a challenge to the government's approach to regulating it. He supports policies that advance in vitro fertilization, birth control, and prenatal care. Now, this next one's a big one. A push to end wars. He's been critical of U.S. support for Ukraine in its war with Russia and has said how he could end the war in 24 hours if elected, although he has not said how he would achieve this. How do you achieve it? You just say, you give the order and you say, pull out. Let's go. You're done. He suggested Ukraine may have to yield some of its territory if a peace deal is to be struck, an idea Ukraine is constantly rejected. I understand this is a no-win. No matter what he does, and then it's like, I mean, why do we all, here's the thing, I'm not saying in this case, but why are we always sticking our beak in other countries' business? We're the world's policemen. We're going to suffer because this country is at war with that country. Sometimes, but you know what? Sometimes no. I don't think you should be putting, and this is the thing, too many politicians will put the military at risk. However, they're not there. Their sons, their daughters are not there often. So why are they going? I mean, they act like everything is so difficult. You know, some things maybe you don't know a few things, and yes, it might be more difficult, but a lot of times it's like, okay, listen, you got all this red tape. Let's just cut through the bullshit. Trump has also said that under his presidency, the U.S. would fundamentally rethink NATO's purpose and NATO's mission. He has backed Israel in its fight against Hamas in Gaza, but has urged it to wrap up its offensive. He can be Trump can be expected to continue the Biden administration policy of arming Israel. At the same time, he's likely to push for historic normalization of relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia, an effort he made during his 2017 to 21 presidency and which Biden has also pursued. He said if he becomes president, he will stop the suffering and destruction in Lebanon, but he has not said how he will achieve this. He suggested building an Iron Dome, a massive missile defense shield similar to Israel's over the entire continental United States. How would that work? Yeah, I don't know how that would work. I have no idea. How are you going to build an Iron Dome over the entire United States? He has also floated sending armed forces into Mexico to battle drug cartels. Maybe that's what it takes. Some of those drug. Listen, I just finished watching Narcos on Netflix, and I know it's a TV show, but it was based on the Rodriguez brothers in Colombia, and everything that happened in Colombia, where the president was corrupt and the department, the minister was corrupt. And I think about this, and I think maybe that's a good idea, because you know that a lot of the Mexican military and police are corrupt. So you get the United States in there. I mean, and here we go again. We're going into other people's territory. And I don't really like that. However, I think, when you're trying to battle this kind of thing, uh, also to use the U.S. Navy to form a blockade of that country, Mexico, to stop the smuggling of fentanyl and its precursors. Fentanyl's strong stuff. I've had my share of it. Um, uh, 3 times I've been in the hospital, 3 or 4 times, and they gave me morphine, and I was like, this hasn't helped at all. Then they gave me fentanyl, and immediately, boom, I was like, oh, wow. But it doesn't last all that long. What they were giving me didn't last all that long. It's like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and that was it. Trump has also pledged at times to use federal law enforcement agencies to investigate his political foes, including election officials, lawyers, and party donors. I don't think that's the way he should approach it. Although, when you look at some of the things that are going on and that have gone on, and when you look at the FBI and the CIA, and I don't know what kind of police, the Washington police force and that kind of thing, I don't think that I don't know, maybe he's talking about investigating political foes. I don't think that is warranted. Along that line, Trump has said he will consider appointing a special prosecutor to probe Biden, though he has not specified the grounds for such an investigation. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to do anything with Biden. He knows Biden is basically suffering. He's in a bad way, man. If you watch some of what he recently, there's a reason why they didn't want him running to be president. First of all, the guy it's not like he's running around everywhere, walking around, doing things. He's not. And when he talks, I mean, maybe you understand a sentence, and then all of a sudden, he starts mumbling. And, he was, what would happen, he was speaking, and then he forgot what he was saying, which I understand because I forget what I'm saying sometimes. I don't think it's the same thing. Maybe it's the beginning, but for me, I don't think so. He starts talking, he forgets what he's going to say, and then he just changes it up. Okay, look. It's then he tries to remember something to say. So I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't think Trump's going to throw him in jail. I don't think he's going to. I don't think any of that's going to happen. Yeah. Well, anyway, and he said he would consider firing a U.S. attorney who did not follow his directives, which would constitute a break with the longstanding U.S. policy of an independent federal law enforcement apparatus. He said he will consider pardoning all of those who have been convicted of crimes in connection with the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. In addition to the criminal investigations, he has suggested that using the government's regulatory powers to punish those he views as critics, such as television networks. He's talking about fake news. And, the thing is, yeah, sometimes they just come out and they know what they're doing. That's the difference. If they knowingly are spreading false information, misinformation, I think, they got to be able to back up their story. And if they can't do that, then, there should be some repercussions. Purging the federal bureaucracy. Trump would seek to decimate what he terms the deep state. Career federal employees, he said, are clandestinely pursuing their own agendas through an executive order that would reclassify thousands of workers to enable them to be fired. That would likely be challenged in court, of course. He would set up an independent government efficiency panel headed by billionaire supporter Elon Musk to root out waste in the federal governments. Supposedly right now, Elon Musk is public enemy number one. Now let me see something here. What am I? Okay. They will soon change their tune when we cut off the money. We are in the Ukraine because we want a stronger, where is it? We want a stronger, where am I? Oh. Lost my place here. Stronger foothold next to Russia, and we want those natural resources. Yeah, I know, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, we want them. That doesn't mean that we can get them. And I think Russia takes great offense at that. Here's something to think about. Other countries that depend on American protection will get nukes if we no longer say we will protect them. Arms race incoming. Only reason Ukraine gave up their nukes was because America promised to protect them from Russia. If they did, okay. Yeah. What Biden and the Democrats have done to Trump is unforgivable and should be avenged. Just my opinion, though. Very seldom are things avenged. Is revenge gotten? It's just kind of like people just fade away. And, remember what he did? I mean, for the most part, nobody in the White House goes to jail, or very seldom do they go to jail. It's just, I don't know. It's not what I would consider. I mean, it's dirty, man. If you look at it, it's dirty. It's a dirty racket. All right, let me continue here. Okay. He has not detailed how much the independent government efficiency panel would function. The government already has its watchdogs, such as the Office of Management and Budget and investigators general at federal agencies. Trump would crack down on federal whistleblowers who are typically shielded by law, would institute an independent body to monitor U.S. intelligence agencies. I don't know about that. Why is he going to crack down on whistleblowers? In economy and manufacturing, he wants to end inflation, cut corporate tax to 15%, would consider significantly increasing the child tax credit, would cut government spending. That's a good thing. The U.S. becomes the biggest energy producer in the world by far and brings down the cost of energy, brings supply chains to the United States, stop outsourcing, turn the U.S. into a manufacturing superpower. That's a nice thought. I just don't know how you're going to do it, and you're going to keep the prices competitive. Prevent the import of Chinese-made vehicles and protecting the U.S. automobile industry. Listen, they got these cars here now. They're called the BYD, BYD. And I thought they were Chinese, but then I just checked and I went, yeah, they're Chinese. It's a Chinese company. And, I mean, they're all right. I don't really love them, but it's Chinese. And I look at it and I go, would I rather have an American car, German car, Chinese car, Italian car? Chinese is at the bottom of the list. Nativist economic policy, buy American, hire American. I like that. Increase tariffs on foreign-made goods while bringing down taxes. In immigration, he wants to deport millions of undocumented migrants in the largest deportation operation in the American history using military and National Guards. He wants to seal the border and stop the migrant invasion by using military troops on the U.S.-Mexico border and constructing detention facilities there. Reinstate Remain in Mexico, which forces asylum seekers to stay in Mexico until their immigration court cases have been resolved. End birthright citizenship for child of undocumented parents. I don't know how I feel about that. You have undocumented parents that maybe they're in the country for, 15 years, and then you got a kid that grew up there, and it's not his fault or her fault that they were born in the United States. So I'm not sure how I view that. And then maybe they come out and they're productive citizens. I don't really know how I feel about that. I have to really think about that and look at the positives and negatives. Impose ideological screening of immigrants. Okay. Proposed automatic green cards for foreign graduates of U.S. universities. Blames immigration for rising housing, education, and healthcare costs. Well, listen, my mother used to work in healthcare, and she used to tell me about some of the things that they had to do. And they had to, somebody came in there, they had to take care of them. And if they were going to die, they had to keep them there. Person couldn't pay the bill, they had to keep them there. So I do think that, with healthcare, it's very tricky. Because who's going to pay the bill? What are they going to do? They're just going to have free healthcare? How are you going to do that? Well, then the government's involved. The government's going to have to pay for everything. And in the United States, that's massive undertaking. I don't see that happening. He wants to reduce mortgage rates by bringing down inflation. Okay, again, how? With gold? I don't know. Open up some federal land for home building. Okay. Reduce housing costs by reducing the number of immigrants who Trump blames for rising prices. Tax cuts for workers and no tax on tips. I don't think there should be tax on tips. I've never thought that. And taxes on overtime pay. I don't know about that. Because if you're working, it's great you're going to get the whole amount. Now, here's the thing. We don't have enough Social Security. If you work overtime, you're making more money. You're paying more into Social Security. How about you raise the Social Security a little bit so that you can put more money into the system? I don't have a problem doing that. Sometimes taxes got to go up. Both Trump and running mate J.D. Vance reject the PRO Act. Trump has floated the ideas of firing workers who are on strike. What's the PRO Act? Let's see here if I can figure it out. Because I am unaware of the PRO Act. Despite stark differences on worker rights, unions split on Trump and Harris. While Harris's policies would be better for union workers, Trump has nevertheless garnered support among their members by tapping into issues that are on top of the mind of the broader electorate, like immigration. Oh, God, I don't want to go through this. I'm not going to read through this. Let's see here. All right, so nobody's spoken yet. All right, let's go here. Let's see. Peace through strength that will prevent World War III. Nobody wants World War III, man. Nobody in their right mind, you know. Focus on the threat of China and secure strategic independence from China while revoking Beijing's most favored nation status. Trump also says he wants a good relationship with China and has praised Xi Jinping, saying Taiwan should pay the U.S. for protection. Stand with Israel, seek peace in the Middle East. End the war in the Ukraine, no commitment for additional aid for Ukraine against Russia. Okay, stop the migrant, God damn, what am I saying here? Stop the migrant crime epidemic. Hey, that's uncalled for. You got people that are illegals coming into the country. Then they're in the country. Sometimes they're in jail. Then they get let out. They're roaming around freely. And then, usually I see it, guy's been out of jail for 2 days and he kills some old lady. We don't need that. Defeat foreign drug cartels and end gang violence. Called for the death penalty for drug dealers. Provide police with immunity from prosecution. Ooh, I don't like that one. Supported rehabilitation for nonviolent offenders in line with criminal justice reform law passed during his presidency. Withdraw from the 2015 Paris Agreement to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Cancel electric vehicles mandates. This is a summarization. Remove environmental regulations such as restrictions on fossil fuel production deemed burdensome. I am not burdened by I am unburdened by what the fuck was it she said? I am unburdened by what shall be. Oh my God. That just cracks me up. And she says it all the time. Let me see something here. Yeah, what can be unburdened by what has been? Is that what she said? Every time she says it, I get quite emotional. Oh my God. And she says it, you see her in various clips. She's saying the same thing. It's like, wait a minute. Don't you think people know this is what you say all the time? It's like, Jesus Christ. Push for nuclear energy, push back against Inflation Reduction Act. Okay, close the Department of Education, make the states responsible for education. Oof, that's a tall order. Has proposed giving money to families to spend on private tuition and homeschooling. How's he going to do that? Cut federal funding for schools pushing the critical race theory and radical gender ideology. Yeah, man. Don't give them a dime. I'm sorry. Okay. What was his name? Tampon Tim? He thinks men can get pregnant and they give titty milk. I mean, is anybody believe this bullshit? Or is it only the, orange-haired wackos out there, yellow-haired, purple-haired wackos out there? Deport pro-Hamas radicals, make college campuses safe and patriotic. Says abortion is a state-level issue and has said he will not sign a national abortion ban, but did not say whether he would veto any law passed by Congress. Healthcare. He says he's looking at alternatives to the Affordable Care Act, which he calls too expensive. Oh, now the music should come on. Supports increased access to IVF. Would probably disband the Office of, now this is good, disband the Office of Pandemic Preparedness and Response Policy, calling it a very expensive solution. Emphasizes, there we go, emphasizes false narrative that the 2020 election was stolen. I want to see the proof. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. Calls for same-day voting, voter identification, paper ballots, and proof of citizenship. Yeah, I think you gotta have. Honestly, I think you need to have a photo ID, and if you don't have a photo ID, then you got to have something else that is going to prove your identity. Because I just think if you don't have any ID, how are you supposed to vote? And they're supposed to know that. If you don't have it, yeah, I just don't get that. I don't get the whole thing. To me, it's very simple because I remember when I first started voting how things were, and they're not like they are now. So, all right. So what do you guys think? Is Trump going to be a good president? Is he not going to be a good president? He does face some criminal charges. And he has been guilty of falsifying business records tied to Stormy Daniels' payment, making him the first former U.S. president convicted of a felony. He's convicted of a felony, but he can travel abroad without any problems. He has told an interviewer on October 24th he would fire U.S. Special Counsel Jack Smith, who led the federal prosecutions over his attempts to overturn his election defeat and retention of classified documents after leaving office. He would fire him within 2 seconds of being sworn in. Pled not guilty to all charges. And he says they're all politically motivated. So anyway, I don't want to talk about that too much, but let's see here. What do you think about the Democrats who are going nuts over this? The one lady I don't really like, I don't like Joy Reid. I don't like, what is her name? Sunny Hostin. I think it's Hostin. I really don't like her. And I don't like Van Johnson. They always make it about race. I'm not thinking of black people or white people when I vote, or Latinos, or transgender or gay. I'm not thinking about that. It doesn't matter. And as far as the rights go, listen, I think they should have certain rights, and I think they shouldn't have certain rights. Depends on what the issue is. But I don't have anything against them, so, it's like, listen, we should be able to talk about all this stuff without getting excited, without getting crazy, without, going off, without crying. Oh, my God, Now, I wanted to say something. I saw something yesterday, if I can find it here. Let me see. Where is it? Here it is. It was on CNN. And the title, in big letters, it says, Trump retakes powers. And then to the left, it says, projected win in Wisconsin puts him over the top with 276 electoral votes. In the center, there's a photo of Trump with his wife and Barron Von Trump, the kid. And it says underneath it, his projected victory hands Trump massive, disruptive power at home and will send shockwaves around the world. Now, to me, that's a little bit skewed. I don't particularly like that. And the reason is because it just seems like, it really seems like they are just, they want to write anything they can about him that is negative. Now, if it was Kamala Harris, would they say it's going to be disruptive at home and it's going to send shockwaves around the world? Listen, if she won, I mean, this is a pretty historic election. If she won, people would not be just like, oh, wow, oh, yay. They wouldn't do that. They would be going nuts. If the Democrats won, they would be rubbing it in your face. Not all Democrats. I know some that are, good people. But most of them would be rubbing it in your face if you were a Republican or you voted Trump. And I've seen these people online that they go, if you voted for Trump, block me. I hate you. And what? Let me see something here. Let's see here. Oh God. Let me see here. Okay. Roger Clemens, the great baseball player, great pitcher. He says, whoever you are, whoever said I'm leaving America if Trump wins, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. He added, this is massive for our great country. Now think about something. This is what the people wanted. So does it mean because people voted for Trump that all the people who voted for Trump are a bunch of dumbasses? I don't know. I look at the people who are on the left, the Democrats who are going nuts. They're crying, they're whining, they're screaming, they're doing all kinds of things. To me, they're nutcases, man. And I know they may be passionate, but Jesus Christ, I mean, it's over the top. Let me see here. Did he say anything else? No. So they just wanted to put that in there because he said that, which, okay, I understand. Jesus Christ. I'm going to move to Canada with my entire family. I already have my ticket. My heart is broken into 100,000 pieces. Bruce Springsteen, not leaving U.S. after Trump wins. These stars say they would. Jesus Christ. So let me see. Who are a few of them? Miley Cyrus. Who is this chick? Raven Simone. Amy Schumer. Okay, bye. Samuel Jackson. Sorry, Sammy. You got to go. Oh, God. Bryan Cranston. Absolutely, I would definitely move. He didn't move. Lena Dunham. If you ever seen Lena Dunham or heard about her, oh, my God. Who are these people? Nev Campbell. Bye. Chelsea Handler. Bye. Never liked you. So those people can go. Let me see here. Jamie Lee Curtis. Christina Applegate. Why did Trump win? Why? Oh my God. My child is sobbing because her rights as a woman may be taken away. Oh, Jesus. Stop being so goddamn dramatic. I don't understand it. Then don't get pregnant. Jesus. Where else do they say? Jamie Lee Curtis. Means a sure return to a more restrictive, some fear, draconian time. Many fear their rights will be impeded and denied. Many minority groups and young people will be afraid. Gay and trans people will be more afraid. We know that many women will now find it difficult to get the reproductive health care they need and deserve. Anybody else besides them? Oh, Cardi B. Now, this chick, have you ever seen Cardi B? I don't even know what music she makes or anything like that. Robert F.K. Jr., what do I think of him? I don't watch this stuff most of the time, but I've seen him. Uh, First of all, I don't know why he talks the way he does. I think he has something wrong with him, or he had something done, or I don't know exactly what it is. But um, I know he's into health and fitness. He was on Joe Rogan, but I just haven't had a chance. Man, it's like sometimes I just don't have the time to look at everything, and I need to take a look at him because I know he's going to become more of a power player in the near future. In the future, most manufacturing will be automated. Yes, it's very close already. Ask Elon. The only jobs will be building the plants and few tech, maintaining the equipment, so it won't bring back jobs. Mainstream media was pretty much an endless campaign ad for her. You know, you want to talk about automation. You go to McDonald's now. They got like 3 big panels up. They're about as big as the panel right here. And on every single one of them, it has all the things that you can order. You just walk right up, you touch it, boom. You can pay for it with QR code. You can pay for it with a credit card. You can say, I want to pay at the desk. You put your order in, you're done. When the number is called, you walk up, grab your order. If you already paid for it, that's it. You're done. You leave. In the past, I don't know how many people they've cut, but in the past, there used to be a lot more people. Now they have like 3 or 4 people working there. They got one person manning the ice cream machine. You know, they got somebody back there slapping the burgers together. They got 2 people in the front. One is usually walking around cleaning, and one person is taking orders. Because you still can walk up to the order desk and take orders. But generally, people don't do that. Generally, they steer them to the automated panels. Just go right up there, you order whatever you want. Crazy, you know? All right, let me see something here. You know, what really strikes me as kind of funny is that they're calling this a historic win. What a comeback. Oh, my God. And, you know, I understand that maybe it's a comeback. But to call it a historic win, it's a historic win because he won over a nothing burger. Kamala Harris has really very few political things that are in the positive for her. Okay, she's done a few things. You know, she was an attorney general. She was this, she was that. Yeah, okay, I understand. And I try to play down any, oh, she worked her way up, you know, having sex with this guy and that guy. I don't even want to talk about that. Hang on a second. My kid just sent me a message. I know him. He he doesn't want to go to yoga. And he's asked me, you going to yoga today? Yes, I am going to yoga today, buddy. Hopefully this will work. Okay. All right, here's all the woke liberals losing their minds. Sunny Hostin, her insane reaction to Trump victory. I wish I could show you this. You know, I'm really trying to work on something now, and I don't know that my computer is fast enough yet. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I can do, or I just have to buy another one. But what I want to do is I want to be able to show photos. I want to be able to show videos. I want to, I used to do it, but the computer wasn't that good and their service wasn't that good. And that is, if I want somebody on, we both have microphones on, and he's sitting, away from me, or he's sitting at some other location, and we're talking to each other, and you can see both people on the screen. I'm trying to get that set up, trying to figure out how to do everything. And I downloaded the Streamlabs app the other day, and it didn't even work. So I have to figure something else out. But that's something that I want to do. I want to get it to where I can put it, because that would really, I don't know about Prism. I've never used Prism before. I've used a couple different services. I've used OBS. I forget what that other one is. Oh, this is Prism Live Studio. It's a Chinese version. Who knows what they have? I don't know. I'll take a look at it. Rapper Cardi B at first kept it simple, posting a video of herself on Instagram with the caption, "I hate y'all bad." What OS is your Mac running off of? Let me see. It is Big Sur 11.7.10. I don't know if I need to update the software or not, but she later wrote a lengthier post on Threads, which I don't understand that Threads, directed towards Kamala Harris. No matter what they've said to bring you down or belittle your run for presidency, they can never say you didn't run your race with honesty and integrity. I never thought I would see the day that a woman of color would be running for president of the United States, she said, but you have shown me, my daughters, and women across the country that anything is possible. Well, I guess you didn't know that. You didn't know anything is possible, huh? Nobody's stopping women. There's a reason why more women aren't in power. It's because most people don't want women in power. I hate to tell you that. And don't say it's misogynistic, because it's not. It's the truth. Now, let me see. What is the deal with this? All right, that's done with. We're done with this one. Still haven't counted all of them. Nevada's just about done now. I think that's what it is. Yeah. 2.6 gigahertz dual core Intel Core i5. This is from 2014, this computer. So it's 10 years old. Anyway. I don't know if there's a lag, but like Gabe, you say Streamlab or Prism. Never used Prism. I've used OBS, and I used two different services online. I don't remember what they were, and they just didn't really work that well. One of them was kind of good, but the problem is that I stream through my phone. because my phone is the fastest method of doing that. And because I'm on my phone, then if you want to run the software on your phone, it just is cumbersome. I mean, if I'm on my phone, I can't really do anything when it comes to like putting photos up and things like that. So I need to go through my computer. So if I'm going to go through my computer, I think I need to have something faster. You can only upgrade the OS X so far on older Macs without a patch. Big Sur is way outdated and slowing you down. There are 3 new versions of OS X. Oh, really? Let me see something. I didn't know that. But then, sometimes I don't always have it together. Usually with the computer, I'm pretty good about things, but they're, no, it says right now your Mac is up to date. Mac OS Big Sur 11.7.10. So I got to figure something out. What I'd like to do is I'd like to put a little bit of money. Give me about 2-3 months, and I'd like to put some money into the whole thing, and then I can start having. Oh, that's the newest version. Oh, okay, I understand. But what I'd like to do is, I think it's only 8 gigs. Is that it? No, no. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Memory 8 gigs. 8 gigs, 1600 megahertz DDR3. So this computer is very old. I mean, that's just the way that it is. But what I like to do is, I'm using this little lab mic now. I'd like to get, like shore mics or road mics or whatever on stands, just like they use in podcasts. And I'd like to get it set up with a computer to where I can have multiple people on. I can, put photos up. I can do everything that a regular podcast will do. Now, if I were to do that, I think I can kind of I can kind of improve the stream. Upgrading the RAM to its max would help if the sockets can handle more. I could have sworn they said I can upgrade it, but I'm not really sure. I have to find out. And the guy's a little ways away. Very cool place, very nice, and they always do good work on my computer. Dr. Mac, that's what it's called. I should go and see how much it costs. Maybe I can just call them up and I can ask them. But I am trying to do some things. There's a lot of things I'm trying to do just because it's kind of fun. And I think if I can get some things ironed out, I can have people on from around the world, not to mention people in person. I can have a higher quality audio, maybe higher quality video. I just think I can upgrade the whole stream a little bit and make things better. That's the idea. And sometimes I see guys and they're just like me. They're sitting there but they got like boxes behind them and they got all kinds of shit behind them. It can handle 16. So will that speed it up? I mean, I know that that's not the megahertz, the what do you call it, the processor. But because there's more RAM, it should speed it up a little bit. Yeah. And Patia Bob, he gave me this little memory card that goes for the drone. 512 gigabytes. Now it's just a little tiny one. I thought it was like 56 or something like that. And I didn't know it. Then he goes, "Oh, you got that 512?" I go, "Yeah, if you want it, I'll give it back to you." Nah, just keep it. So I kept it. I use it for the drone, but I also put it into a little, a card holder, and I can plug it into the computer. I got 512. If I really wanted, I could get a terabyte, 2 terabyte, or whatever, you know, and I can just use that. because I don't want. I got 256 now. I upgraded that 256 uh, the storage, the space. So I can do a few things here. The guy told me, yeah, you can get a couple more years out of his computer, and I'm kind of thinking about it. And I'm like, I'd rather just go out and spend $1,000 and get myself a nice laptop, up to date laptop that will absolutely blow this thing away. If I go and do that with a Mac, it's going to cost me like $1,500. Yeah, I know. But it is what it is. We're here today. I got my little stream. I appreciate everybody watching. But I would like to have, I don't know, man. I really like Macs. I mean, I don't care what anybody says about their business practices and stuff like that. I've just been using them for almost 20 years now. And I don't know that I want to change over. But, sometimes my wife lets me use her computer. Her computer is so light and it's faster than mine. And it's got more memory than mine. Well, yeah, I think I have 200 gigabytes. I pay, like 99 cents or something. I get like 200 gigabytes of cloud storage, which is enough for me. But, really, I think, and, the thing is I know kind of what I want. I just need somebody to really help me with it, to sit down, go over everything with me and help me with it. Which usually you have somebody that, what do they call them? It's like a producer. You get a box, and on the box you hit one button, it'll go over to a different view. You hit this one, and it turns on the music. Oh, it's only about 40% full. I try to keep nothing on the computer that I don't need. So, but I know what I want. I want that box. And they have various versions of the box. And into the box, I think that plugs into the computer, and then you plug in the mics or something like that. The mics it's not USB. It's I don't know what they're called. I forget. Um, you get two microphones. You get the box. What else do you need? A couple of chairs, and other than that, that's about all you need. And really, if you had a chair, and I mean, listen, there's a lot of times I want to talk to people in the United States. How much or what? Now, the computer is the main thing. I'd have to spend 1,000 to 1,500 on the computer, then I'd probably have to spend another 500 on the microphones, and the box is maybe I'd spend 250 to 500 on that. So I'm looking at $2,500. You know, and I'm like, things work now. I just can't do everything I want to do. I'd like to be able to do everything I want to do, but then I'm like, Sometimes I'm like, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, I need to do it. I mean, if I had other people on in the stream and things worked well, um, there was no glitches with the system. Everything worked well, and it was people who were thinking of moving to Thailand, people who live here, people who have a certain job that's important that people would like to know about, whatever. Yeah, I think it would be interesting. You know, Western guy and his wife just come in. Should we get something to eat here, honey? Anyway, you need a 3-day 16K camera so people can see every wrinkle and skin flaw. No, I don't. That's another thing. Do I want to use the camera on the laptop? I got a Fuji, what is it, XT2 or XT3? XT3, I think. And, that has a camera on it. That's a good HD camera. But, I don't know. That's a, what do you call it? I don't know. There's a few things I need. So that's my only point. Anyway, this place is picking up. That's the last political stream that I think I'm going to do. Unless something drastic happens and, unless something really, really drastic happens. I don't think I'm going to do anymore. I'm not a big political person. And to be honest, it was kind of like, it's kind of like this. When people in 2016, when they were voting for Clinton or Trump, some of them just voted for Clinton just because they didn't want Trump to win. And I understand that because I sure in the hell didn't want Harris to win. But that's not my only reason. There's a lot of reasons, but I can't get into all of them right now or any other time because you know what? I don't want to waste my brain power on that. As long as you're in good light, newer cams and Macs are pretty darn good. Yeah. It's not like I'm going to be in the dark or something. I'm not one of these guys who my room is all dark and it's like you can barely see me. But I like some of these guys that got, they got podcasts going on and they got things going on. And it's just kind of like, I like to take it to the next level. Politics is fun. It's easy to make people angry. Yeah, I don't really want to make people angry. I'd like to make people think. Making people angry is, I don't know, what's the point in that? Oh, I want to make everybody angry. Oh, that's going to make me, really happy. I don't want to do that. Listen, if you're a Democrat, you lost. Get the fuck over it. No, the reality is, okay, this time Republicans won. Get over it. Accept that Trump's going to be president for 4 years. And pray that he does well for the country. Drop Republicans, drop Democrats. Stop thinking about all that. And at this point, you just go, I hope this guy does well. And now let's sit back and see what he does. That's how I look at it. Yes, I am a realist for sure. I mean, I could get all crazy if I wanted to. Why? I don't want to. And I think about getting out of Thailand sometimes and I just go, okay, where am I going to go? What is good for me? I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm thinking about what's good for me, what's good for my family. And how does it relate to the United States whereas I can do it? The madness that rages. Anyway, I think that's about all. I think we are done. Thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Let's see here. Before I forget, one more time, smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want to help out, you want to show the love, you can also always use some of the services that are available. You can become a member on YouTube. It's $1.99. YouTube Super Chat, Super Thanks, Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, or Patreon, or you or you can buy some merch or a book or something. You can use Wise, which I don't make any money from. Um, Wise is a good gig. There's a link down in the description. Um, so that's all I have. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Thank you all very much for joining me. I hope I see you the next time, which is going to be, what's today, Thursday? I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. I think probably Saturday or Sunday. Um, so, choke D, good luck. They'll jerk on my. See you later. I'm Scott. I am an American in Bangkok, Bangkapi to be specific. So, I'm out. I'll see you later. Be well. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much there, Exeter. Right on the buzzer, man. Thanks again. All right, I will talk to you later.